And here's the rest of them.
What? Kevin, what are you doing here?
Oh, it's a long and harrowing story. We happened to run into him on the road, so we invited him to join us.
On the road? Why were you traveling again, Kevin?
To be honest, my goal was to investigate the Amberl Tower. After we said our goodbyes in Roland, I've been running around looking into all the towers.
All the towers? Have you already visited the other towers, Father Graham?
Yep, I've been busy with that pretty much. That's why I was kinda AWOL during the whole dragon business. Sorry I couldn't give a hand with that. I figured you guys might come out here for a break after that, so...
That makes sense. Well then, should we have a sit down right now?
How's about we do it over dinner? That'll help the, information flow freely, you know?
Yeah. So you're really staying here, Kevin?
Well, from what I hear, this is a pretty famous inn, right? Like your friend said, I figured I'd join in the festivities, if you don't mind.
That's, kinda out of the blue. You have helped us out a lot, though. What do you think, guys?
I ain't got a problem with it.
It is a nice way to settle our debt to the good father.
Yeah, I want him to stay too.
I see no reason to object. I wonder if it's fate bringing us together.
Well, if he's here, let's have some fun.
Thank you. Ain't much in the way of thanks, but if you still got some stuff that needs doing, I'd be happy to tag along. Abuse me as much as you need.
Thank you very much for choosing to stay at the Kingfisher Inn. Allow me to show you to your rooms. Yes, please do. This is the room we have set aside for the ladies.
Wow!
This is lovely. It feels peaceful too. This is the room we used the last time we stayed here, right? We ended up having to sneak into the bandit base and didn't really get to enjoy it much. Yes, I hope you could spend a bit more time in it this time. I did at least get to spend one night in a comfortable bed that time. The way I remember it, Shira drank you under the table and laid you out like a sack of garbage. This time I'll be able to drink to my heart's content. This is the room we had set aside for the gentlemen, but... I'm sorry, there must have been some confusion about your party size. You may use the room next door for the men as well.
Oh, right, I kinda jumped in on this train at the last second. You guys pick rooms and I'll roll with it.
How about it? I have no preference.
I don't care much either way.
Well then, I shall share a room with Agate.
Wait a second. What's with the sudden desire to bunk with me?
Is it not obvious, Agate? A raven with clipped wings, mended by a tender-hearted young girl. I would be a failure of a bard if I did not hear every detail of that encounter, and also...
What?
Agate, try not to murder him, okay? Although, I'm sort of curious as to how that went down myself.
But we just talked is all.
That doesn't make us any less interested in hearing about it. Maybe more so, in fact. Perhaps we should hear the whole story before calling it a night, Come now, you two. Don't tease Tita so much. I feel bad for her.
Regardless, I would ask Zin and Kevin to share the other room. I have no problem with that.
Hey, I'm not one to stand in the way of a good time, so sure.
Allow me to show you to your room.
Now hang on, we are not done with this conversation. Hey! Yo, sounds like things got kinda crazy. So there really was an ancient dragon nesting in Liberal? And it warned about the Oriole before flying off, huh?
Yeah, makes my head spin just thinking about everything that happened. What I really don't get is why Ragnar couldn't tell us anything about the Oriole either.
Actually, there is a line in the Testaments that reminds me of. And the goddess, having bequeathed her treasures, sent forth the holy beasts to observe the path the children of man would take.
A holy beast? That certainly does seem like Ragnar.
The more pertinent point, I feel, is the command to observe. They may simply watch over us, and were commanded to not interfere.
Load of help that is. Well, one way or another, I sure think this makes it look like the Oriole does exist. Think we can even start to piece things together, thanks to what I found in my poking around.
Right. You were investigating the towers. Did you find anything out?
A little bit, yeah. I think you guys are familiar with those weird machines at the top of each tower, right? Did you know they're currently glowing?
Yeah, I remember seeing that one was all lit up. I don't quite get what that has to do with the Oriole, though.
Well, Captain Schwartz mentioned something to me. Something weird happened in that room where you fought Alan Richard just before that mechanical monster showed up, right?
Oh yeah! If I remember right, after the gospel was used, all the lights in the ruins went out. And then there was this voice out of nowhere giving a warning, and the pillars all sunk into the floor.
Right. The warning was about the first barrier being no longer operative, and the device tower being enabled, as I recall.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So on a hunch, I double-checked the timing with some witnesses. Those 4 towers started lighting up and stuff at the same time the gospel was used.
You're kidding.
So, the device towers the warning mentioned are...
The 4 towers of Liberal and the machines at their peaks.
I don't get any other explanation, at least.
So to sum up then, the ruins beneath Gransel Castle are what produces this first barrier. However, when Colonel Richard used the gospel, this barrier was eliminated.
And in its place, the device towers were activated, presumably to produce a second barrier of some sort. A second barrier? But why would you...
If you're gonna protect something, you always want to make sure you have a backup. Doesn't answer the question of what kind of barrier it is, though. Or what the hell is it a barrier for? About that, I'm starting to think it's something to hide the location of the Oriole.
That's right. The Oriole wasn't in the castle ruins. But it's still supposed to be somewhere in Liberal, right?
Exactly. And if we assume the Society's goal is to obtain the Oriole, then I think we can say their experiments are part of a plan to further that goal.
They need to do all that just to...
The experiments, the Gospels, and the Oriole. It seems they are more tightly interwoven than we first believed. And the one sitting at the loom would be this man called the Professor.
Yeah, it's all him. The same guy who put the gospel on Ragnar's head and made him attack Bose. And the one who...
Estelle?
What's up, Estelle? You got awfully quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, about this professor. I think he's the one who made Joshua leave in the first place.
Wait a moment. You mean he's the one who orchestrated the events that brought Joshua into your home? And then made him leave the way he did?
I think so. And I bet he's the one who manipulated Colonel Richard and Kurt's memories.
You're kidding.
We do not have an explanation for Kurt's memories. It is true. What do you think this?
Well, you see...
That really happened? Is it another thing you've been trying to shoulder all by yourself or something?
Not exactly, but... Sorry, I guess it's kinda late to bring it up now. I don't think there can be any doubt at this point, though. It's safe to say that this person must be the one responsible for all our trouble.
He is clearly a man of twisted morals. Yes, we'll need to be careful.
Oh, sorry, Tita. I didn't mean to bring up all this serious junk when we came out here to relax.
Oh, no, it's okay, Estelle. It's just, I was wondering why someone would do something like this. Make everyone so unhappy. Make Joshua suffer. I just don't get it.
Aw, Tita. Don't worry about trying to understand a weirdo like that, okay? You just need to worry about being Tita. Right, Agate?
Why the hell do you keep dragging me into these conversations?
We needed that, I think. Kevin? Oh, nothing. So how's about we call that enough information swapping for one day?
It'd be a crime to let all this wonderful food go to waste.
Can't say no to that.
Yes, let us leave debate aside for now. Instead, let us navigate the forests of meat through the rivers of liquor. Merriment awaits.
Rivers of liquor, Lenheim?
That was an unfortunate metaphor. Oh, please, Sarah, do not make me swim.
That was so much fun.
It was.
It feels like we've been refreshed, body and soul. Yes, it's been a while since I've had this much fun without drinking. Shira, minors in the room, influences, etc. And weren't you slamming back some kind of fruity liquor like a fiend while we were fishing? Oh, honey, please. Something that light doesn't even count. Right, Princess Tita? I think I will invoke a royal prerogative to refrain from commenting. On a tangent from that, though, Estelle, you're really very good at fishing. You think so?
Yeah, you are. You pulled them up one after another.
It's been her hobby since she was little. Speaking of, Kevin made quite a showing for himself, too. I noticed that. He really seems to like fishing. He definitely knows how to handle a rod and whatnot, that's for sure. If he's got a bit better, he might even be a good rival for me. Not everything has to be a competition, Estelle. Still though, it's a lovely evening.
Estelle, what is it?
Nothing. I think I need to go enjoy that lovely evening for a bit. I'll be back for dinner. I understand. Don't be gone too late, or I'll eat your portion too. Yeah, I know. See you guys later.
Estelle. Shira,
Don't worry, Tita. I'd like you to leave her alone for a little while, if that's okay. This is about Joshua, isn't it? A good guess. The evening was just as lovely back then, too.
What a pretty sunset. It's just like that time. The sky, the sunset, the water, it's all just like before. Everyone's having fun, but it's not really the same at all, is it? I'm hopeless, aren't I? I'd made my mind up to chase after him at my own pace, but Mom and Joshua must be laughing at me. That's right. I did play it once during the dream. I wonder if I can do it again. Huh?
That was really pretty, Estelle.
Kevin?
I came by because I was curious who was belting out the melodies. Gotta admit, I didn't think it would be you. So I guess you do have hobbies other than sneakers and fishing, huh?
Harmonica playing's kind of out of character for me, huh?
Nah, not hardly. It suits you. Gotta be honest, I think you're better at fishing, but...
You can just come out and tell me I'm bad. Even I don't think I'm really good at this.
You made a couple technical mistakes, sure. But what matters in music is the heart. And that little performance of yours carried your heart, trust me.
Oh, thanks.
Mind if I get a little closer?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Got a question I'd like to ask you. Estelle, what are you gonna say when you meet this boyfriend of yours?
Huh?
From what I've gathered, he left under what we might call, circumstances. Heavy ones. Even if you finally catch up to him, have you thought about what you're gonna say to him after all this?
I'd convinced myself I was going to drag him back even if I had to pull him by the hair. But I don't think I can really do something that forceful or crazy. To be completely honest, I don't know if what I have to say will even reach Joshua.
And even knowing all that, you're still set on finding him?
Yeah. I've thought a lot about Joshua's situation and my own failings. No matter how hard I try, though, the words to deal with it all don't come to me when I just sit around. So I'll just let the words come when I finally meet him.
What?
After all, my feelings aren't mine alone, right? There's something that grew between Joshua and I when we were together. So I think I'll only really be able to find those words once I see him again. Once we meet, our hearts will do the talking. That's why I refuse to worry about that until we find him. I mean, sometimes I get a little sentimental, sure, but let's just call that lady's privilege.
Oh man, that didn't go according to the steps at all.
What?
Step 1, Estelle is all sentimental and down. Step 2, Estelle worries over a comment from me. Step 3, I follow up nicely. Step 4, Estelle starts feeling better and her opinion of me rises sharply because of it. See? Profit. That was the brilliant plan I was aiming for, but somehow you skipped steps 2 and 3 and thus 4, I think.
Sorry. You're still a good priest, Kevin. You do pay attention to people with worries like me.
Well, it's true. That's part of a priest's job. I gotta admit, I was paying attention to you for reasons that are more personal, Estelle.
Huh? What are you...
Hold that thought. What? Now What is it? Not sure. It looks like a boat's approaching. And I think someone's inside it.
What? Kurt!